Hey, what's up, Rockstars? A real quick video. If you missed my last video, I purchased over 300,000 sports cards out of several collections, and not just everyday commons and uncommons. Although there are a lot of those in some of these collections, there is a ton of paninis, prisms, refractors, and some good high-end stuff. I'm not talking about thousands of dollars or even hundreds of dollars, but stuff that's worth 20s, 30s, 40s, $50, and a lot of $5 and $10 cards that I paid $1 penny a piece for. That's right. I paid a little over $3,000 for these collections. Actually, it was like 1.1, 1.2 cents because I paid closer to 3,500 for all the collections all together. I paid $3,000 for one of them and then a few hundred for some of the other ones. This is a great collection of stuff like Tom Brady's, Amon-Ra St. Brown's, Drew Brees's, Aaron Rodgers, Breece Hall, people that are current right now and also people that are now retiring, the legends, the great ones. You know, Breeze is retired and Brady's retired. There's Ray Lewis's. There's all kinds of people in these that you guys are familiar with over the last 15, 20 years since, say, 2000 to 2024. They're all included. And then also there's some basketball, baseball, and older NFL from the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. Things like Allen Iverson, things like Shaquille O'Neal, things like Kobe Bryant, Anthony Hardaway's, you name them, people like that that still have good value. They might only be $5 cards or $10 cards, but when you pay a penny each for them, it's a really great deal. And so I'm very happy with the collection. Milo keeps hitting the camera in case you're wondering. My sheepdog here is interrupting the video a little bit. But I want to take you inside the collection. I thought some people would love to see a little bit of what we have. So I'm going to pull out some of the 40 or so binders that I got, and I'm going to flip through them on camera and just show you some of the idea examples of what was included. And then I'll also take you through some of the little small boxes and the top loaders just to get an idea what a lifetime collection of over 300,000 cards looks like. Come along with me, let's take a look. All right, so I just pulled out a couple of binders and a couple of boxes. Again, there's like 40, 45 binders. There's hundreds and hundreds of boxes. Just to give you just a quick sample, and I didn't go through it. I have no idea what's in any of this stuff. I haven't looked through any of it. I just purchased it on Thursday/Friday, and I haven't had a chance to go through any of it. So this is gonna be like a first look with you as I'm doing it. So let's take a look. Okay, so we're gonna open up here the first binder, and first thing we see is Ben Roethlisberger, and oh wow, is this like a Miami card? What is this from his Miami NCAA totals? So kind of a cool little Ben Roethlisberger, and I shouldn't have pulled this out because it's gonna be hard to put back with one hand, so I'll leave that there. Justin Jefferson, Cooper Kupp, Eli Manning, Brett Favre, Ben Roethlisberger again. Got Ezekiel Elliott, Mike Evans, who's hometown boy here in Tampa, Hall of Famer, he better be. Aaron Donald. Got Corey Dillon, that's an old one you haven't heard from, Bengals. Drew Bledsoe, we love Drew, right? Thurman Thomas, Encore. We got Marvin Harrison, Zach Thomas, linebacker for the Miami Dolphins, if you don't remember him. Mike Allstott, one of the best Tampa Bay Buccaneers that's ever lived. He's a tank, won a Super Bowl here in Tampa Bay. Michael Vick, quarterback at the Eagles, and that's the Topps Platinum. We've got Warren Moon. A lot of these are just some old school, like really Hall of Fame level guys, right? Keyshawn Johnson on the Jets. So this is just one book. Again, I paid 1 penny per card. And as we flip through it, we got Steve Young, Najee Harris. So we've got current guys, Jonathan Taylor, T. Higgins. We've got old school guys like Steve Young, Juju Smith-Schuster, more Ezekiel Elliott. We've got Cordell Patterson, Jonathan Taylor again. Andre Reed, great return man back in the day for the Bills. You know, like I said, old school guys. Mac Jones, you know, new school. Marvin Harrison, the original, senior, of course, his son now playing. Isaac Bruce, won a Super Bowl with the Rams, greatest show on turf. George Kittle, again, new age stuff. So as you flip through, you just see like the quality, and these just go on and on and on through this binder, just player after player after player. Over. And then we actually get into some old NBA hoop stuff. Al Horford, you know, Tim Hardaway Jr., Patrick Beverly, great defensive player. And then you've just got, you know, tons of NBA stuff. We even get back after we flip through this into, you know, a binder of, you know, some more football. Deshaun Jackson, DK Metcalf, beast mode there. Nice little Reggie Jackson, Mr. October tribute card here. More NFL. Great binder, right? Like this is one binder out of over 40 binders. And I'll show you another one here. We'll remember to put back Mr. Mr. Roethlisberger before we close up. Some more. Marcus Allen, Carson Palmer. These are contenders cards. Again, not huge money, but you know, Ricky Williams, Earl Campbell. Archie Manning and Eli on the same card. That's pretty cool. So again, just lots and lots of just Sandy Koufax card reprint. That's pretty cool. Just binder after binder. We could go through these binders. Remember, I paid 1 penny each, and the 45 binders have thousands of cards in them. Probably just the binders alone will get me the money back. If not, then some. Then, you know, I have hundreds of these boxes, hundreds of these small boxes, and hundreds of the large one. Let's pull it out. Julio Jones, Keenan Allen Prism Refractor here. Nice little Keenan Allen. Devontae Parker. We've got Alvin Kamara, Saints card. Derrick Henry, Rookie and Stars. Like that Derrick Henry. Jimmy Garoppolo, Jimmy G. We've got Russell Wilson back on Seattle. We've got, of course, Deshaun Watson and his infamous days down there in Houston. Tyreek Hill. The champ is here. This is a nice Tyreek Hill and the Chiefs. TJ Watt there on the Steelers. Got a nice AJ Brown with the Titans. Just one after another. I mean, we got, you know, Jeff Gladney, who knows who that is, right? Quentin Cephas on the Lions. Familiar with them. My buddy's a big Lions fan. But we've got a lot of these cards, and then, you know, you see the good ones and you see the not so good ones, you know, ones that you don't really recognize. Xavier McKinney, Anthony McFarland. I know the names. I'm a big football fan, but these guys aren't going to pull any money in, and they're just bought cards. But you can lot these up and sell them by team or by player. You know, you got Anthony McFarland Jr. there on the Steelers. Not superstars in any sense of the matter, but as you flip through them, you find superstars, and then you find not superstars, and then you pull the rest of the box out, and you find, you know, more and more players here. Let's see what we got here. Rookie stars. Again, Jared Pickney, not a superstar. He's a good player. These are all their college ones. Cole McDonald, you know, Jake Luton, Jalen Johnson. So a lot of cards that are obviously going to be your penny cards, but a lot of cards that are going to be your $2, $5, $10 cards, whatever they might be. Another George Kittle, the Fireworks Prism card. You know, something that's worth $2, $3, $4. You know, and that's where the money comes from, and that's when you add it all up. And then we'll do one last little look through here. Right on top, Jalen Hurts. Let's grab a stack of cards here. Let's see what we have. Tua from down in Alabama, Roll Tide Roll. Tua Tagovailoa, Tua, more Tua. Zach Wilson, ew. We've got Zach Wilson. Gotta love the Zach Wilson cards. Ooh, nice little Zach Wilson. They still get a little bit of money, even though he's not so likable. Zach Wilson. Davis Mills. Hendon Hooker, pretty good. Sean Clifford. Kenny Pickett, who's getting a lot of talk around the NFL as he gets moved and bounced around. Again, we pull out some more stacks. What do we got here? CJ Stroud, who's doing really good, having a great time for himself. Kyle Trask. Sam Howell. Kyle Trask. We got Will Levis, who verdict's still out on him. Kyle Trask. Mac Jones. Mac Jones rookies. Mac Jones more rookies. Tons of Mac Jones. Every player you can think of is pretty much, man, this was a lot of Mac Jones going on here. More Zach Wilsons. Lots of these guys that are, the verdict is still out, whether they will be superstars or not. I think the verdict is in on Zach Wilson. I don't think he's going to be much. Trey Lance, who I think fell into a bad spot and should have had a better time of it. Trey Lance. Man, more Zach Wilsons. The amount of Zach Wilsons, Trey Lances. This box was the guys that should have been, could have been, maybe been. Let's see what else we got here. Chase Young, outstanding defensive player, so that's good, solid stuff. Chase Young. J.K. Dobbins with the Ravens, great player, but injury prone. You know, Cam Akers, again, great player, has some injuries. Michael Pittman Jr., Jerry Jeudy, really like him. Donovan Peoples-Jones. What do we got? Jonathan Taylor, rookie. Jalen Waddle. We really like Jalen Waddle. Jalen Waddle's solid down there in Miami. Chase Young again. Kyle Pitts. Patrick Surtain the second. Of course, his dad was super good. Jalen Waddle, Jonathan Taylor. Again, these are all $2, $3 cards. Trey Lance, lots of Trey Lances, man. These guys, they love their Trey Lance. Justin Fields, which we're going to have to see how he does now that he's no longer the man in Chicago. We got Trevor Lawrence. So pretty much every quarterback, every player you can think of is in these stacks and stacks of cards as we pull them out, as we go through them. Jonathan Mingo, Jordan Travis, J.J. McCarthy, so that's really good. Of course, he's Minnesota's quarterback, the rookie. Micah Parsons, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Micah Parsons, Jonathan Taylor. There's Joe Burrow. There we got Tom Brady, Trevor Lawrence, C.J. Stroud, Travis Etienne. So Justin Fields again. You guys could see I've got dozens and dozens of these boxes. More Tom Brady, more Joe Burrow. Yeah, so long story short, this is just one box, like I told you, and I only pulled out maybe not even half of the box. There's still a whole nother half to pull out. These are a lot of players that are current and retired. Some of them that were superstars, Hall of Famers, Tom Brady, of course, you know, the Mannings on the other side. And some of these are players that the verdict is still out on them. We'll have to see how they play in their next 5 or 10 years. And some of these guys are, of course, started off super hot. Like these guys are going to be the superstars, and they died. We're talking about the Trey Lances. We're talking about the Justin Fields. Probably Justin Fields isn't going to be a superstar. But these were the guys, when they were coming up, people were all over them. So that's where all these cards have come from over the last couple of years. And, you know, even if they're, you know, something that's worth a couple of bucks a card, it's fine. Because I paid a penny each, I could lot up the lot of 20 Joe Burrows and put it out there for $19.99, right? Something I paid, you know, 20 cents for, 30 cents for, and I get 20 bucks for it. Like that's a flip, that's amazing, right? And I have inventory forever. We don't need to go through this and list 300,000 individual listings. That's silly, right? We don't even need to list 100,000 or 50,000. We could probably get away with throwing up you know, a couple hundred lots of just some good mixed in with some bad and sell it off maybe to people for 20 cents or 30 cents a card that want to flip them for $3 to $5 a piece. You know, they pay me, you know, $100 for a box and they could flip that box for $600, $800, $1,000 because they want to do the work. Great for them. You know, I don't need to sit on this forever. I don't need to not have my money back. Do I think I'm going to have these cards for a long time? I think I'm going to have a lot of them for a long time. I think I'm going to sell a ton of them in the next 30 days. My plan is to not only get that money back, but to double that money in the next 30 days. I want to do $6,000 to $8,000 in sales on these cards in the first 30 days. So by the end of April, 40 days, I want to have my money back. I want to have a ton of this out the door, and I want to have some listings up on eBay that are selling if we decide to keep a binder or two or whatever it is, and move on. Buy the next collection and just keep making, you know, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 on these collections as I get them. You know, this is just one part of the business, but it's super fun to buy this stuff, to go through it. And as long as you have the capital to buy it and you don't have to move it next day, 2 days, and you have the ability and the audience, which I have, you guys have to remember, I have the audience, I have a social media following, I have Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and YouTube. I have, you know, 400 and some odd thousand followers across all these platforms. I have an email list of private buyers, of sellers, of viewers. I have almost 30,000 emails on my 2 email lists combined. And that's a whole nother avenue to reach out to. I have all of you people out in social media and YouTube world. All I got to do is build this stuff up, make it a fair price, allow people to make money to where, you know, they can pay me a couple $100 or $100 or $200 and get a couple $1,000s worth of material. Even if they got to do the work, it's just an inventory and it's coming direct from me. You know who it's coming from. You know what you're getting. I'll tell you exactly. It's trusted. I'm going to ship your stuff. I'm not going to take your money. My name's not Nicole Snake. All this stuff. And if there's an issue, I'll just ship you more inventory, or I'll give you a refund, or whatever it is. You know, ship it back. It's just the way it goes. And so this is the business I'm in. Obviously, nobody can list 300,000 cards. That's silly. You just want to move inventory and turn it over and turn it over and turn it over. So that's kind of my plan. I just wanted to give everybody a look at what a collection of hundreds of thousands of cards looks like in the sports world, at least. Again, we have, you know, another Pokemon collection also that I bought, and I think this is around 15.3, probably like over 3,000 cards. It's all hollows, reverse hollows. Again, they're $2 cards, $1 card, $3 card. And I would sell this for probably like around $300, $350, which puts somebody in around 9, 10 cents a piece. And they could start putting cards up and making $2-3 a card, and they're gonna, at 3,000 cards, if you even netted $1, you're paying me 300 and turning it into 3,000 or 4,000 bucks. That's a pretty good return on the money. So, we got 4 boxes of these plus more Pokemon cards. Newer, modern stuff, not vintage, holo, reverse holo, common, uncommon, rare, but it's just a matter of just me turning it over. I just want to make a couple bucks on what I paid for it. I probably paid $200 for these Pokemon cards. $350 would make me a few dollars, but I can move on to the next one. So if you're interested in any of this, my email is rockstarflipper, ROCKSTARFLIPPER @gmail.com. You can email me, ask more questions. I can send you more pictures, more videos, whatever. As far as the cards go, I definitely want to sell them, the sports cards, boxes of 1,000 for, I'd like to get 125 and I'll pay the shipping anywhere in the lower 48. If you're in Alaska or Hawaii, try to add like, I don't know, 20 bucks probably would cover it if you're there. But I would like to get like 125, 120, something like that. But make me an offer if you want to buy more than 1 box. Of course, I'll definitely give you a deal if you're buying, 3, 4, 5 boxes, and I'll ship it out. I'll pay all the shipping from Florida. So let me know if you're basketball, baseball, football, whatever it is. Ask questions and I'll send it to you. But that's a collection of 300,000 sports cards, a behind the look sneak peek, and hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a like. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Come back, watch future videos, and until next time, see you guys later.